Alrighty, guys, what's up? So, I don't know what happened to the countdown. I guess it didn't work, but we are live. So today's video is going to be about uppotting pepper plants. Um, so we're going to be doing some pepper plants, cucumbers, watermelons, tomatoes, and probably planting some jalapenos, trying to get some jalapeno seeds to pop. Um, but other than that, we'll also show off the tent, show off what's going in there. The pumpkins are doing pretty well. Um, like I said, the watermelons are doing good. We'll probably do some cantaloupe actually as well too. What's up, buddy? We started some pretty cool pumpkins. So we have the Easy Grow Monster. It's doing pretty well. And then we have 4 Big Maxes. So the Easy Grow Monster can get really big, can get up to like 200. And then the Big Max gets up to 100 pounds. So there's like a ton of them. So we might start also some jack-o'-lanterns maybe. They don't get that big. They're more like 15, 25-pound pumpkins, but they're really good for carving. Um, so, but basically the plan is with the pumpkins is that we're going to have a patch of pumpkins here, and then have a patch of pumpkins go up on my grandmother's hill, and they can kind of go down the hill, and then I'll try to train them to go across it, and that should give us a decent amount of pumpkins. I do have to get some fertilizer for there. But I actually am going over there probably, I don't know, maybe this weekend, probably. I have to do some stuff in this yard too, in my own yard. Like clean up the palm trees. I got to cut up the magnolia tree because it's pretty bushy right now. And then I got to do stuff with the grapefruit. And then all around probably just like, yeah, maybe do some de-weeding and stuff. But nothing too crazy. Um, so it should be a pretty simple, easy next couple days. Trying to think. So we got a ton of the zucchinis, a ton of the peppers already. So the Grand Bell pepper mix, which has like different colors like purple, yellow, red, green, orange, white, chocolate. There's like a bunch of weird ones too. We got a decent amount of those, like at least a few of those. So we're gonna do a lot of those, I think, here, to be honest with you, along with the mild jalapeno. To be honest with you, that should be a good one to keep here. And then I don't know, maybe only do like one habanero and one serrano, and put them next to each other, and put the jalapenos kind of next to them, and try to put like the bell peppers somewhere else. Um, 1 second. That should be pretty. And we have a good area for that. So another thing we do need to work on too is getting a garden trellis or getting the garden stakes. So I already have the trellis. I guess I have to get the stakes. It is a 15-foot long and 6-foot tall trellis, which is a pretty. That should fill up our entire area pretty well. We can also use that for the grapevine that's over there. And ooh, little seed fell. That's why I got to get those palm trees. I hate those things. And I had to clean up this little area where there's like a bunch of palm bushes. But I don't have like an axe. And my dad said he was gonna get a power saw, but then he didn't. So I'm like kind of thinking I might be able to use a pickaxe, but I don't know. We'll have to see. If I could have it, if I had an axe, I had an axe, but my car got stolen, and while I was trying to move, took all my stuff in it. It sucked. It was like a couple $1,000s worth of stuff. I got some of it back, but I didn't get all of it back. Unfortunately, I didn't have that type of insurance. I didn't know. If I knew, I would have done that. um, I do wish I could do the live stream where I could play the game and the live stream at the same time on my phone. They need to make an app for that where I can kind of like either record my voice and play the game or something. Because I've been trying to do that since I was a kid. They just will not put one on here. I'd be famous on YouTube by now if it wasn't for these guys. I feel like, but whatever. Um, Trying to think what I was gonna say. So we started a bunch of stuff. We started the buttercup squash, which is decorative pumpkin, but you can also use it for cooking and baking. We got the blue jardale. We have a Big Macs, Easy Grow Monster. Um, got a bunch of zucchini plants. Got a bunch of tomatoes. Got a bunch of peppers, cucumbers, watermelons. I'm trying to think of what else I have started in there already. Well, we have to start the more jalapenos. We got to start more cantaloupe. We got to start the cantaloupe. The sunflowers are doing well. That's another thing. So the sunflowers and herb like section is doing pretty well actually. I noticed some of the green onion or garlic chives. I don't actually know which one they are, but I noticed them starting to pop up, which is pretty cool. I already do have a ton of green onion anyway, so I don't need a ton of that turf say to pop up. I'd rather have the garlic chives pop up. That'd be cool. But we can always plant more of that in like near the watermelons or near the or in the raised bed. Honestly, like have a section where I do a bunch of like garlic chives and like I don't know marigolds all around it, or in the corners, like on the sides or something. I don't know, or up front. That'd be kind of nice. But I gotta think. We still have a ton of time before I need to really do any of that. I really, if I need to start, if I'm starting flowers, I need to start them in April, so they have April, May, June, so that they start blooming by July. Because I think my parents like to have like a 4th of July party, even if they don't have like a big one, they'll have a couple people over, and I'd like to have the balloons by then, and at least east. But we normally do have balloons by at least 60 days, like everything normally. So that's why I'm not worried about it. But you do want to start earlier in the year so that you're not running up against it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're gonna have a ton of stuff. I'm trying to think. So at my grandmother's house, another thing we'll probably start some more tomatoes too. And the reason being for that is that I want to throw a ton of those over there. We're gonna have like cherry tomatoes. We're gonna have this one that's called Oxheart. It's like a regular tomato. It just kind of looks a little funky. I was gonna buy some Romas, but I ended up not being able to because, like, I guess at 20 didn't like read correctly, which sucked. I ended up it worked at McDonald's, so that was funny, but whatever. Um, I do need to get probably some Roma seeds and some. I got Roma and I got this other like paste tomato. Oh, so I'll probably do that soon. You know, I can go to Tractor Supply. That's closer than Home Depot. They used to have peat moss there. They don't now, which sucks. Um, I think I went over there recently and they had it again, which was cool. But then they ran out. Maybe I don't know. Uh, but it was cheap. There, it was like $13 still there. The peat moss. I should have got a couple bags of it, but I didn't. But I got a bag of peat moss at Home Depot. And so in this video, we probably won't. I won't. Well, I already got it wet. Honestly, now I can kind of just absorb that water and chill out for the next couple days. To be honest with you, I'm trying to think of what we'll do. So for the next order, yeah, next order is gonna be kind of big. It's gonna be more around like closer to like $200 worth of fertilizer because I have to do the raised bed one more time. Um, I might I need to do the pots. What I whoa, I might need to add some stuff. So let's see. Hold on. There we go. All right. 1 second. Let me log in. I might need to add like some alfalfa meal and a bag of gypsum or something, and take some other stuff off. I don't know. We gotta see. I gotta see. I tried to get some stuff for the indoor too, so I gotta see. Let's see what I got again. Because I don't remember. I think I got let's go straight to the cart. Okay, I'm still here. I just want to make sure I'm still Oh, sorry guys. Left the live stream for a second. So I'm gonna go back here. So what I ended up doing was adding an extra bag of gypsum and taking one of the bags of bone meal off. So I figured that made a little more sense. So it's gonna be $189.03. 15 pounds of gypsum for $19.50. 100 pounds of flaxseed meal for $78. That's not bad. That's really good actually. 2 bags of bone meal for $19.98. That's basically the price of one bag of bone meal from Down to Earth. That's 10 pounds. I got 3 bags of acid mix. We can use one for the pots. Should I get a? I don't know. I feel like I might get an extra bag of acid mix because it might make sense. Because if I use one bag for the pots to re-amend the pots or get all the pots amended, because some of them are going to be, I think, honestly, mostly peat moss and then some type of compost that we get. I might mix in some of the compost from the raised bed, just because that has a ton of nutrients in it already. But I mean, the problem with peat moss isn't that it's not good. It's really good. It just doesn't have any type of nutrients. So if you were to grow in it and not add anything, you would basically run into a lot of nutrient problems. So I gotta think of something. And the gypsum I'm gonna use for the garden area for all the other stuff, for the tomatoes, peppers, watermelons, pumpkins, zucchini, squash, cucumbers, things like that. So that'll help fertilize them along with some of the flaxseed meal. Will also go to them for sure. But I'm thinking that I might get rid of the dolomite lime and just get more acid mix. Get rid of the dolomite lime, get a bag of acid mix. That saves me like $3. There's the pH is my soil still because I think it has a lot of dolomite lime in it already. So I think that we don't need any more dolomite lime. And I don't think I need to pH my soil yet. So in like a later video, I might go because I might do a video in a store video. That might be kind of fun at some point to do because there's 2 of them that I'd like to do. Maybe or 3 actually that I've thought of already. Like go to a store, talk about the stuff that I get in there. So that'll be kind of cool. Definitely want to do that. And then I would like to do I don't know what else. What was it? I don't know. There's a few videos. Oh, and a pHing. I gotta pH my soil, so I'll probably do that in a separate video. So I might get rid of the I might get rid of the I might get rid of the dolomite lime. I'm getting 2 bags of bone meal. Oh, just in case it runs out and I have enough, I guess. For everything, I mean 5 pounds for the indoor should be enough. Yeah, there's just 2 bags. We can get rid of one of these, and do 1 bag of dolomite lime. Got like $25. Fuck out of here. That's like $30.
Fuck out of here, dude. That was a come up. Glacial Rock Dust was a come up for me. But now it's like $30. When it used to be like $20. It was $19.99. Went up $10. Buddy and Big Boy, knock it off. Stop messing around. Um, I'm almost inclined to just get like a 4 pound bag of Glacial Rock Dust because that's only like $13, and 4 pounds, honestly, that'd be what, like that'd be like 26 pounds, like 30 pounds of azomite slash glacial rock dust, basically. Um, that should be enough trace minerals in the bed for the. Get your paw out of the water. Stop putting your paw in the water, fool. Dumb dog. But yep, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Should I check out some azomite? See if we can find any cheap azomite on here. Here's one that's not bad that we could use. Honestly, every part of the yard that would help everything. You'll have some potassium, calcium, magnesium, and sodium. Not terrible. It's OMRI listed. Let's see what else we can find, maybe. There's not too much. I might get some dried molasses. That might be smart. 8 pounds and put that in the raised bed. That'll get the worms going along with that flaxseed meal, like another 50 pounds of flaxseed meal. And then probably do like 25 pounds of flaxseed meal into the pots to amend the pots. And then the other 25 pounds can get split between so like 12.5 pounds can go to like the watermelons and zucchinis, and the other 12.5 pounds can go to the tomatoes and pumpkins. And then we would have like $82, I think. 182, yeah. That's not bad. I might do that. Let's look at everything I got. I think that's good. So it would be 20 pounds of shrimp shell meal for $26. That's good. 1 bag of Dolomite lime for $6.50. 3 bags of acid mix for $32.55. It's all right, pretty good. Better than Amazon for sure. Um, 1 bag of bone meal. That'll be for the indoors. We only have 2 plants, so that'll be about like 2.5 pounds per plant for the indoor. I think that should be good enough. We'll definitely save that. And a bag of acid mix for flour. You could use maybe um, I don't know, a couple cups of the flaxseed meal, a couple cups of the gypsum. I think maybe, I don't know. Actually, we might need to order an extra bag for them, just for that reason. So yeah, let's get rid of the dried molasses and try to find a grow. Something that'll help them grow. Probably soybean meal, like a bag of soybean meal. to get rid of one of the bag of acid mix, I think. So we need 2 bags for the indoor. Or man, I need to get something to get the for the plants that grow indoors. So soybean meal would be smart, like 2 bags of soybean from organically done. So I'll research and find them. Do 1 bag of soybean and 1 bag of flaxseed. $174. I like that. I do like that. I think that's a lot better. So it's gonna be we're gonna have 3 pots, two. So all of them are all 20 gallons. Actually, technically, only difference between the 3 of them and one of them is going to be 3 of them are probably going to be mostly peat moss, and if I have to get anything else, it'll just be like some type of compost that doesn't have a manure in it. So whatever it may be, it could be anything. Because I'm just gonna amend it anyway and basically change it after a while because it's not gonna be the same. So I'm not too worried about the soil actually, as long as it's just a good price. That's normally what I go for, and to make sure it's organic. That's all I care about. So mostly it's going to be peat moss in 3 20-gallon pots, and the other 20-gallon pot's actually a trash can that I turned into a pot. Drilled a bunch of holes at the bottom of it. What we're going to do is we're going to take it out. We're going to amend it. We might add some, probably actually get some perlite maybe if I could. Good. And add that to that sucker. That'd be pretty smart. But we'll also probably do some river rocks at the bottom for sure for drainage. But what we'll do is, since there's 4 of them, the peat moss ones we're amending so that they actually have some nutrients to grow. The trash can which was I was going to do is I was going to actually split it into 5 gallons, so it would be like 4 5 gallon pots, and then give each 20 gallon pot that I had 5 gallons of it each. But instead, I was like, you know what? I'd rather like focus on like maybe having like one really giant plant that has like a ton of great composted soil. That's I think the small pot is the small pot is Roots Organic, that we got last September, last September, I think sometime maybe a little bit earlier. I don't know. And we've been amending it throughout the early of fall, all of winter, spring. It's gotten a ton of stuff. It's gotten some vegetable garden, acid mix, crab shell meal, and I think it was oyster shells. Those I can check. I caught it right before I left. Um, I think I'm good. That little mix right there is a pretty good mix for any pots or any like if you were to, let's say, if you didn't have a ton of money and you were to be going and you just wanted to get like maybe four boxes. I definitely get like a box of vegetable garden, crab shell meal, humic acid, and acid mix. The acid mix will give you your NPKs, will give you calcium, magnesium, sulfur. It'll give you more humic acid. The vegetable garden will basically do the same thing and give you some iron. And it'll give you 4% nitrogen, 4% phosphorus, 4% potassium. And it'll give you some more humic acid. The humic acid is going to help you with uptake. So you add another 5 pounds of that. That'll also help with like soil. So let's say hypothetically you didn't go balls to the wall on soil, or your raised bed isn't that good. You add some humic acid. That'll help with uptaking this nutrients. And let's say hypothetically you just put one plant into the raised bed, like one giant plant. 20 pounds of fertilizer to start with for veg is all it's probably going to need throughout veg. Then when you see it start to flip to flower, then you can give it a bag of acid mix and a bag of bone meal. It's normally what I use. You can also throw in a bag of soil acidifier. You can throw in some garden lime. You can throw in some dried molasses. You can throw in some kelp. You can throw in some what else? Nice one. Soil acidifier is good. That will give you a lot of sulfur. Lagmanite will basically do that, but also give you some magnesium and potassium. So that's normally what I go with. But you can also add more, soil acidifier later on. If you have it laying around, you could always just throw it into the raised bed during flower too. It's not going to hurt. It is organic, so your plants just won't uptake it. Basically, is what happens. If it doesn't need it, it won't uptake it. Um, so yeah. So we'll be hitting the 20 gallon pots with all of them, all four of them. But yeah, no. Oh, excuse me. What I was saying was, is that 20 pounds right there of acid mix? So that's what we started with the pot with. I also think I had some Job's organic knockout rose fertilizer, and this was early on, and I actually didn't know that had poultry manure in it, and poultry manure kind of tends to make your plants smell a little bad, a little more poopy, I guess, kind of like shitty smelling. So I don't like to use that in my fertilizer regimens. So it also had like 2 bags of that into here, and also it got soil acidifier and garden lime that run too. So it got about all in all, about 8 bags of fertilizer. The garden lime and soil acidifier is 6 pounds, so it's the Job's organic, so it's about 24 pounds right there. Then 20 pounds of down to earth, so it was about 44 pounds the first time into that, and it was Roots Organic. So that should be some really freaking good soil. So we've also done we got EB. So the next thing we did was we did EB stones. Um, oh, and I don't have I have somewhere down here, I think. Hold on. I know excuse me, my mic went out. So we gave it EB Stone's blood meal, bone meal, and alfalfa meal. The blood meal is for nitrogen. That gave it 13% nitrogen, and that was a 4 pound box. So what we did was we just basically gave that to mostly the top half. The bone meal we split up between the bottom and the top, and the alfalfa we did that the same way. Basically, we split that between the bottom and the top to give the top some potassium. And that was about 12 pounds of fertilizer. So that was pretty good. We did that twice. We did that 2 times. So that was pretty good. So that basically gave it it gave it its calcium, it gave it its nitrogen, it gave it its phosphorus, and it gave it some potassium from the alfalfa meal at 3%, which is pretty good. That would be a pretty good, like if you couldn't get down to earth, I'd go get EB Stone, which is cheaper, or organically done is also cheaper as well too, but you had to get them online mostly. Um, but yeah, you could do that, and then those three right there, and then maybe like a two pHers, get the soil acidifier and the garden line. All in all, that would be basically, well, maybe not if you got the garden lime and soil acidifier, but you should at some point give it garden lime and soil acidifier to pH your soil. It'll make the soil better, it'll make the plants taste better, they'll smoke better, you'll like them better. So you definitely want to do that at some point, at least maybe definitely in flower. If you want to wait until flower, you could do that too. Um, the next thing though after that, what we gave it each box. We gave them each. So we had 2 trash cans actually. But one of them filled with compost. One had HP Pro Mix, which is mostly perlite, cocoa coir, and peat moss, and then it had some like nutrients in it that had been composted. And then we had also composted like some plants in that like some actual cannabis plants. We let them break down. This run when we put in more, so we hadn't grown anything in this, so the 20 gallon hasn't got touched at all all. We've just amended it, turned it over, amend it, turned it over, like turn it over and amend it at the same time. We do that at the same time, and then put it back in there, let that break down, and then we come back like a month later, 2 months later, and then add some more. So this run, what we did was we added a box of azomite, right, to the whole trash can. That was for the trace minerals. We gave it a whole box of oyster shell meal to the whole trash can, and then we split 3 boxes of shrimp shell meal, or 3 boxes of a dolomite lime, a shrimp shell meal, and vegetable garden again. And that was the last time I gave it vegetable garden because I don't need too much iron in my soil. I actually use vitamin B1 a lot in my one for definitely my transplant tea. Um, and I use a lot of that in my transplant tea. So the vitamin B1, I use that in my transplant tea, and I use that throughout veg. Just to keep the plants nice and happy. Helps to develop nice and thick white roots. It gives it iron, magnesium, and zinc. So that's basically everything you would take if you were sick. Like if you got really sick, you would take iron, you take zinc, and you take magnesium. And those are the things that a lot of people forget. Zinc is something that a lot of people do know about, but not everybody does. Magnesium, iron are something that people don't know about, and that's the reason why they stay so sick. Vitamin C, vitamin B, and vitamin D are also really good when you're sick. B complex is good for your brain, right? And so to give your brain a little boost while you're sick is definitely going to help it fight off anything because it will be able to think a little bit better. I take vitamin B super complex. That's what it's called all the time. It's really good. It also is good for your heart as well too, so it's not bad. Um, Iron is going to help your white blood cells because it's going to up your blood count. When you take iron, that helps you get more blood, but that'll help you fight off any sicknesses. Magnesium will basically do the same thing. Zinc helps you with your immune system. So does vitamin C and D. So when you take those two on top of the B, E, and everything else, you honestly probably won't be sick. So if you take that and then some cold medicine and drink a bunch of orange juice or some apple juice, whatever you like, either one's honestly fine for you. You could drink either of them. And then milk also has a lot of vitamin C in it too, so you could honestly drink some chocolate milk, chill out, watch your TV, take your one day off, and then by the next day you should be fine. To be honest with you, that's normally what I do.
when I'm sick. I did get really sick this winter. I caught something. I don't know what it was. Oh, but I didn't have my vitamins, but I did take zinc, and it only took like 2 3 days, and then I was back. I think I came back on the fourth before the fourth day because I actually had a day off in between one of them, so that ended up working out, and I came back in that Friday, I think, which was cool. I don't work at that place anymore, but whatever, no worries. We are doing fine. Um, um, the next thing that we added after that was actually we could start composting things in it. So like we did some mushrooms, we did blueberries in there, we did bananas, and then we did that twice. Guys, I think that, and so I've been using actually the the HP Pro Mix trash can as the indoor potting soil, and I was looking at the tomatoes, dude, and they had like a crazy root system with like just a ton of fungal bacteria growing on it, man. And they just look so happy and healthy in that soil. And I think it has to do with one, the azomite, but for sure the mushrooms that I composted in that. That I do before we go to plant want to maybe get some mushrooms into this soil just to get the fungal um fungi back up in the soil. But we also have a lot of like we threw in a lot of mulch, like wood shavings in here. The only other thing that I would like to mix, like I might try to go get like a trash can full of like that free mulch that you can get at, like parks and things like that. I actually know where they're at, like where the free ones are. Or and there's normally like a little. I don't actually need a lot. I don't need anything special, but something that had like a lot of like pine needles, had some like twigs, barks, wood, something like that. That I guess has like some leaves and things like that. That I would like to mix that into the soil along with like the 50 pounds of flaxseed meal that we'll be getting here soon at some point when I order it, probably in the next week or two, hopefully. Because I definitely need it. That'll probably be the last thing we do to this raised bed besides pH it. I hate loud cars. Um, so, um, yeah, the last thing we'll do is probably pH it, give it a bag of acid mix, a bag of dolomite lime to the raised bed, and call it a day. There shouldn't be really anything else at that point that it will need. Need the acid mix. Get 4% nitrogen, 3% phosphorus, 6% potassium. We'll give it some calcium, magnesium, some magnesium, some humic acid, some sulfur, and the dolomite lime will give it more calcium, more magnesium. So that'll be nice. Um, yeah, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good little mix right there. To be honest with you, I can't really complain about that. So just add that, and then we'll be able to plant at that point. The plant should get giant. We got a Girl Scout cookie. The Girl Scout cookie's probably gonna go on the more sunny side of the bed because that'll be the bigger, hopefully the bigger plant of the two. Because I definitely want a lot of Girl Scout cookie. I think that'll definitely be the main attraction this year. The Tropicana cookies will go into the trash can, the 20-gallon Roots organic trash can. And I think that will get bigger than anything else. Actually, I think that's 22 gallons. I don't think it's just 20. I think there's a 22-galloner. So that'll give it a little more. It'll give it an extra 2 gallons, and it definitely has a lot more nutrients in that than anything else. That'll also get some of the nutrients that we're ordering for the pod. So since we're ordering 4 bags of shrimp shell meal, 1 bag will go into the HB or the Roots Organic trash can, and then the rest of them will go into like the peat moss mix. What else did we get? We also got a bag of dolomite lime and a bag of acid mix will go into the pots. Half of the flaxseed meal will go be split up between the pots, and then in the indoor, or what we'll be doing is we got 1 bag of bone meal for when we go to flower. We got 1 bag of acid mix when we go to flower. I'm actually gonna add an extra bag of dolomite lime for when we go to flower too, because that'll help us with our taste, smell, and uptake because it has magnesium, which has chlorophyll, helps with chlorophyll production, will help my plants grow a little bit faster. So I've been thinking about actually adding some more magnesium to my soil, not because I think there's a deficiency, just because I kind of want my plants to grow a little bit faster. So that will be about $181.19. So that's not bad. That's about what I was about getting before, and I think this is a lot better of a mix. So in the indoor for veg, we'll have two 10-gallon pots. Let me see if I can get a 10-gallon pot in here. I should be able to get like a 10-gallon fabric pot for pretty cheap, actually. 10 gallon. Let's see. How much is? Oh wow, bet. So one smart pot is like $6, and there you go. Yeah, bet. So it'll be $187. Yeah, bet. Yeah, absolutely. That saved me a lot of money actually. Because I don't think I can get individual pots on Amazon, and that's free shipping too, right? Yes, it is. All right, bet. Smart pots are really good, and then I have another one that's similar to a smart pot that's like, and if it's different color too, so that'll be an easier way for people to tell between the plants. And so we have an apples and bananas that's doing really well. Um, that's in a 5 gallon, and then we have a gelato that's in a 5 gallon. So we'll be able to put both of those into 10 gallons, pot them up, and when we do that, we'll add 2.5 pounds of soybean meal and 2.5 pounds of flaxseed meal to each pot. So that'll be about like 5 pounds of fertilizer to each pot, and that'll give it basically everything it need. We'll probably do a cup of cheese. Oh, we'll also probably actually, instead of doing that we'll do the bag of dolomite lime, then split it up between the two pots. That'll give us our magnesium and our calcium for the soil, and that'll basically be all we'll need. Eat, and then when we go to flour, we'll add in the back box of acid mix, the box of um, bone meal, and we should be able to ride it out through there. I think 2.5 pounds each. That'll be like 5 pounds each of bone meal and acid mix should be enough, and there should still be a ton of food left over after that. At that point, now I'm just trying to figure out where I got to get some more soil for them, but that won't be too hard. At some point, we'll be able to do that. We might be able to find something. We could always maybe just get like a bag of HP Pro mix. That should be enough to, or honestly, I could get another. Actually, for that price, I just get another bag of peat moss. And then I'll have extra peat moss left over that I can use into the garden area probably to like mix up into like the watermelon and pumpkin patch and tomato patch and zucchini patch. That'll help loosen all them up. So right now what we are getting is a 10 gallon smart pot with handles, made in the USA. One 5 pound bag of flaxseed meal, one 5 pound bag of soybean meal, one 15 pound bag of gypsum, two 50 pound bags of flaxseed meal, one bag of bone meal, two bags of acid mix, 2 bags of dolomite lime, and 4 bags of shrimp shell meal. So everything that we'll be putting into the pots, like the outdoor pots, is some flaxseed meal, dolomite lime, acid mix will go outdoors into the pots, and the 4 bags of shrimp shell meal. Each pot will get 1 bag of that. That should give us enough nutrients. That'll give us enough nitrogen, phosphorus, and calcium for sure. The acid mix, when that goes around, along with the flaxseed meal, will give us enough potassium because the acid mix will give us 6%. The flaxseed meal will give us another 1% on top of that. And we have plenty of that, so that'll be enough for the plants to be happy and healthy. And we don't really need to focus too much on the flaxseed meal going into the 20-gallon trash can, the 22-gallon trash can. We can actually use that for the peat moss to get the peat moss a little more amended so that the plants that are going in there don't run into any nutrient deficiencies, because I honestly would rather just kind of use the peat moss to fill up those 20 gallons, to be honest with you. And then amend them on the way. And we'll also do a video on that too. And we might be able to get another bag of something else, like a bag of blood meal. Get like 2 bags of blood meal or something,
and you can split that up between the pots or something like that. That's not bad. Or a bag of blood meal, bag of bone meal actually be a little smarter because that's a pretty good little veg mix with a lot of nitrogen, phosphorus, and calcium, which is mostly what they use in veg. But they'll need a little potassium. But we already have that covered, so we don't need to worry about that. So we could honestly get like that'd be about like $16, which is a little expensive, but not too crazy. I wish they would make it a little bit cheaper to garden. I think that definitely get a lot more people out to do it, which would be better for the environment. It would be better for people because they would get a lot more sunlight, they get a lot more exercise, and they would get a lot more healthier food, which would be pretty cool. Cool. And it'd be cheaper for a lot of people, especially if we made it cheaper. Obviously, even now it's still cheaper. You just have to plan right and maybe do it like spread it out more, not try to do it all at once since it is so expensive. Just like do it over time. Buy some of the stuff over time for sure. Or that's what I did at least. I wouldn't have been able to do all this at once for sure. Sure. I would have not been able to do it if I waited too long. Thankfully I started earlier enough and even my plans were kind of like interrupted by some like other matters that ended up coming up. But like yeah, if that never came up, I think I would have had a pretty good track through the winter and just had some fun. But whatever, all good. Um, but yeah, so the indoor pods will get fertilized for a little extra veg probably um, here soon because I think in like April, all in April everything should be big enough to be honestly to go out as long as April's warm enough. Of April's a lot of the times the month that most of like the colder bearing stuff can go out, like cold hardy tomatoes and stuff like that can kind of go out in April. I did that last year and they did just fine. They won't produce a ton early, but they will produce later on. Like they'll start to grow, later on. But you can kind of get them outdoors if you want to get them outdoors early to get established. They'll start shooting out kind of like a root system and getting it kind of established and getting it somewhat ready. It won't really produce any fruit or really grow a ton, but it will shoot roots out and start getting more of a root system ready, and that'll save up some space in your tent if you want to start some like later season stuff that you'll be putting out later in the season. You can do that, or now you just don't have a ton of stuff in your tent, and your tent's a lot more open, and you can do more indoors stuff. Whatever you like to grow indoors. Some people do microgreens, some people do recreational plants, some people do a whole hort of different things. Tomatoes, all types of stuff. So um, but I think the 15 pounds of gypsum that'll be just for the watermelons and the pumpkins in area, or which will also have zucchinis and tomatoes in them. So that'll add a lot of calcium and sulfur. That'll help with taste. So since we have like baking pumpkins, tomatoes, obviously you want them to taste good. The watermelons and zucchinis, you obviously want them to taste good. That'll be good for them, and then the calcium, obviously they'll like that, so we don't have any blossom end rot. So we definitely wanted to do that. That we added the flaxseed meal because that'll give us enough nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium to last us. We'll loosen when we mix all that in. We loosen the soil back up again. And I need to add a little bit more soil to the each spot. To be honest with you. So I do need to get some soil here soon. So what we'll probably end up doing, even though I don't like it very much, it's just getting maybe like one bag of I don't know, man. It would be cheaper, honestly, if I just got manure at that point, because that's all Kellogg's raised bag mix is manure. It's like, should I just go get manure and forget about the Kellogg's raised bag mix? Because when I composted that down, that smelled like straight doo doo. So I'm like, honestly, I might as well just get the manure, let it break down, and it should be all right at that point. And then mixing it into our soil, giving us a little more soil depth for the tomatoes and pumpkins, so they can get a little bit deeper of a root system. That'll help take them into a little bit later in the year. Obviously, pumpkins, we let those kind of go into late October, obviously, because those are we use those as decorations in Halloween and all that type of stuff. So you know, that's the type of stuff I really do like that type of stuff. I do like doing that type of stuff for my niece and nephew, and I think the garden's gonna look really nice this year the way I have it planned out. We do. I think we can honestly in March. We're almost mid March now. Yeah, Probably here soon. Soon. I don't know. With the extra $40, we'll probably get the rest of the soil we need for the area. For like the pots should be good. Good. If we need any more soil for the pots, what we'll end up doing is getting like some damn, my freaking chin is bugging the crap out of me. I gotta shave here in a couple days. And I gotta get a better brush. Actually, I can't brush my beard because there's no bueno. It's like grew and hurts like hell. It's like I don't have time to brush this sucker all day long, but I guess got to do it. I guess. Yikes, my chin hurts, son. Alrighty, well, about almost an hour. Not quite there yet, but yeah. So honestly, we need to add more peat moss. I might just get a bag of peat moss. Um, yeah, honestly, we just got a bag of peat moss. Us. And then we already have a ton of sunflowers, or we'll start some of the bigger ones. I do want to get the Mongolian giant hybrid, so I might end up giving my mom some cash because she can kind of order that from Amazon for me, along with some other sunflower mix. But I there's like kind of like a regular base wildflower mix at Home Depot. It's like $7, about the same thing that I would get online on Amazon. On I'll probably get like 2 bags of that. That'll be about like what, like $37. That'll basically be all I can get it. Um, with some like change and tax will be like $39, I guess. Yeah. Yikes! I shaved my beard. I do. I really just gotta. Same time, I also gotta pull it out too, so it can grow back a little bit better. That's like clumped up like crazy. Well, yeah. I think after that we should have a good year, because if we just get the bag of peat moss, which is a little expensive, but better than the manure. Or what we can do is we can finish off the other pots, whatever we have left over, which should be a ton, and we can mix into the watermelon and pumpkin patch, and yeah, this sucker would be pretty cool actually.
Yeah, so we should get some. We already got a ton of the. So oh yeah, I forgot. We can show off the tent. We should do that now. Actually, let's go do that now. Oops, sorry, man. Go Mars. We finna go inside. We finna do something really quick since you're tiny. Don't worry, I was just playing with him. I didn't hurt him. Stinky.
Oh, fuck it. Let's see this song we're going. I wonder if we can play music anymore. I haven't been able to do it in a minute. Let's see. Oh, but
You motherfuckers. I'm gonna tell you something straight off the motherfucking press. I ain't coming for no foolishness. In New York, goddammit, y'all motherfucking women look good. Y'all like a bacon and egg sandwich look good. But I love sex. I love it. Can't do shit no more. And I'm blessed. I'm big boned. I'm heavy structured. I'm hung low. If I pull my shit out, this whole room get dark.
Go ahead, bitch. I said I'm jingling, baby. Go ahead, bitch. I said I'm jingling, baby. Go ahead, bitch. I said The things that they say about the things that they say about me, oh my god, we can't tame them. Sauce be wet like April, gotta hang them. Everybody love a nigga like Raymond. Grab that nigga from the necklace and hang him. Did you know money is also a language? Cause your pockets looking like the bitches, it's a danger. I'm in all black like my name is the ninja, nigga. My flow so hot, it might singe ya, nigga. All my different dudes, she binge, my nigga. And a nigga drip until I'm drenched, my nigga. That's why my guard up just like a fence, my nigga. Cause your bitch pussy, it got a stench, my nigga. Nigga, okay. I am a beast, a monster machine. You mix all the three, and what you see ski. Thought that I told you, the knees are the bees. Do you see?
I'm limited in what I can play because I can only play stuff that I have downloaded, unfortunately.
I already know nobody don't got my back. Back, stack, rags, black, mag, stay, strap, big, racks, large, stacks, back, stack, rags, black, mag, stay, strap, big, racks, large, stacks, boy you cat, oh, you ain't putting none on the map, chopper on my lap, push like where I apply them tags, yeah, don't check by my tag, yeah, give a sweat from my dad, yeah, 100 bands in my bag, put around in my bag, my nigga feel my swag, I would just chop my bag, put your little bitch on the check, share some of my nigga jet lag, hey, slide in the whip, drop fast, going way faster than that, on the race boy get dragged, talking too slick, get clapped, for your bitch no fat, so fat nigga better relax, cause everything that say fast, had to stay on a bitch like fans, been wearing these shit since the past.
Alrighty, well, let's go check out the tent. Chuck, speak of voice. Damn dog's cage is in the room now, so there's not much room in my room anymore, but what does? Alrighty, well, had the humidifier on for the past few minutes. So, yeah, everything looks alright. Gave everything a little bit of a compost tea with some vitamin B1. It had beer that can compost and ferment in the soil. So that's always nice. Shiduki. Alrighty. So we got an all-star watermelon along with a little pepper. Got the national pickling cucumber. Got some more watermelons in here. A bunch of peppers popping up. And you see the tomatoes and the cucumbers in the back. They're doing crazy. This is where our California Wonders, our Grand Bell pepper mixes are at. I gotta label those. I forgot to label a couple of them. But we got about 7. That's pretty good. 7 Grand Bell pepper mixes is not bad. I'm not mad at it. Actually, wait, hold on. We got 2, maybe possibly 3 in here. So that's about 9 actually, or 10 actually, if the other one comes up. So 10 of those, I'm not mad. Is it good? And then we got the California Wonders. Those are also sweet, so we can use those, and then keep the mild. Have 1 Serrano, 1 habanero, because I don't think we got a lot of the habaneros to pop up anyway. And then we can throw mostly a ton of jalapenos over at my grandmother's house. That'll be fun, so that we can just kind of harvest those when we can. I think these are zucchinis. These are these are Black Beauty, excuse me. These are the mini pumpkin harvest blend. These are Easy Grow Monsters. We got a second one to pop up. It looks pretty nice and healthy, so I'm going to leave it. Why not have 2 of them? We got 4 Big Maxes in there. We got to split those up. We're going to put 2 at my grandmother's. 2 can stay here. That'll help with production so we get more of them. We only had 1 last year. We got 2 pumpkins. So if we could get 2 pumpkins per vine, cap them off at that, and then we'll just basically
That'll give us like 4 giant pumpkins from this yard. That should be enough. And then we can try to get maybe a couple more from my grandmother's yard. We got another mini pumpkin harvest blend. We got about 3 of those. So this one has 3 in this pot, or 4. That one has 4, and I think this one has 3. So I'm thinking I'll probably take these guys, these 4, and these can go over on the hill at my grandmother's place. And these 3 can maybe go over in the raised bed at her place, and then these 4 will stay here, obviously. So we should get a ton of mini pumpkins. We got a bunch of watermelons right here. We got the Jubilees. They're looking pretty good, right? So we got some Jubilees. What else? Where else are some of our? So these are our sugar babies. So those will go up on the trellis. We got 3 of those. That should be plenty. We shouldn't need any more. That'll give us a ton of watermelons. We got the National Pickling Cucumber. These are getting big. Look how big this fan leaf is. That's pretty big. It's actually covering up some of the other stuff, so I'm trying to twist it around a little bit so it's not covering anything up. Back here, we got a bunch of garlic chives, lettuce, green onion, collard greens, and then lemon queen sunflowers. Back there, we got velvet queen, more collard greens, lettuce, sage, and thyme that are all piping up. So bunch of lettuce, bunch of garlic chives, bunch of green onion, bunch of herbs and stuff like that, bunch of sunflowers. There's the velvet queen is a sunflower, the lemon queen is a sunflower. Those are multi-headed sunflowers, and probably by the end of March and April, we'll probably throw these outside. All these will go outside. They'll definitely be big enough by then. We'll also be doing like radishes out there by then, stuff like that. So be tuned for that. Back here, we got the blue Jardale. I guess I have 2 of those. 2 per the yard is pretty much the deal for right now. 2 Big Maxes, 2 Easy Grow Monsters, 2 blue Jardales, and then we'll just have 4 mini blend pumpkin harvest. Yes, and then we'll have 3 fairy tales. I think here maybe 2 actually. Let's see which one's the bigger one. 2. Yeah, let's just do 2. So we'll thin this one out. Take this guy out. We don't need it. We'll put it over here in the wedding cake for like living mulch, and the wedding. Our wedding cake is smelling really great. It's really bushy too. So you want to see the cannabis plants? They are fucking amazing. They're looking great. I'm nice and happy. All right. The weeds growing for fucking sure, right? We got the pumpkin, the mystery pumpkin back there because that just popped up. We don't know what that is. That'll also go over to my grandmother's yard because of how big it is. I don't want it overtaking anything else over here. That can kind of overtake the yard over there. So we'll put that up on the hill over there as well when we go to plant it. That's in like a 5-gallon pot, something like that. And so that definitely should be fine. Until then, we just watered it and it's looking really nice and happy, starting to perk up. The flowers are starting to shoot up. It probably needs a little fertilizer, so we're going to fertilize it probably today, and maybe do a video on that. We're going to do a short in here for sure because we got a ton of stuff growing. And actually, I mean, come on, this is pretty cool. We got a ton of stuff. So we got a bunch of peppers. There's a ton of serranos. Peppers that need to get transplanted. That's why they kind of look yellow, because the humidity dome. They're touching the humidity dome, and they need some water too, actually, a little bit. So we gotta water them. But we're gonna transplant those. We're gonna transplant the watermelons, the tomatoes. We're gonna separate now. The cucumbers we're separating, and we can take out the peppers. Honestly, pretty soon here probably. So we have the Cumberland, I think they are. I don't know. We got the Keystone resistant giant. We got some Oxheart tomatoes. We got some cherry tomatoes, and we got some Chicago pickling cucumbers. We got Charleston gray watermelons. We got some Garden Leader monsters, and then we got some Black Diamond watermelons. The Black Diamonds get up to 50 pounds. The Garden Leader monsters get up to 35-ish, somewhere around there. And the what are these? The Charleston Gray is also around 35. So a ton of stuff are coming up. Are very nice and happy. We still have the bell pepper right here. It's not mad. Hasn't died. Doesn't have any bug issue. Probably wants to get watered maybe. I don't know. I gotta check on that one, see what's going on. The rosemary's doing nice and good. Really happy. Smells great. Probably put that in the raised bed, maybe, or put that off to the side. I don't know. We'll probably put that in the raised bed and just leave it in there in the corner, and then fill out some of the other corners with some rosemary and some basil, just to keep the smell down. That'll help with any unwanted guest, like burglars trying to steal your weed. By the end of the year, those rosemaries and basils will be giant and in flower. The basil will be at least, and smelling like also smelling, and that'll also help keep these pesky stealers away. So another thing we have also is some golden zucchinis. We got 5 in that pot. We're gonna keep all 5 here. We'll be starting more of those as well too. We got some. Oh, actually, we won't be starting any more of those because we got some more golden zucchini here. Those can go over to my grandmother's house. These can stay here. And in that pot, we got dark green zucchinis. They can stay here. So we got to start more of the black beauties. And where are the gray zucchinis? Oh wait. Ooh, actually, I don't know. So that's a gray zucchini, actually, and this is a golden zucchini. See, so all these have to stay here. I had to redo all these again so that we can have some zucchini over at my grandmother's place. We got the summer squash, the early yellow summer squash. They're looking great. They're already starting to really perk up and get big. And there's one in here that has a lemon cucumber in it. This is a muncher cucumber. We got to start some more lemon cucumbers because we didn't get a ton of those to pop, so we can do more of those. And then in back there, I think we got another national pickling cucumber. So we got a ton of those. We don't need any more of those per se. What we really need is and I'm actually going to turn this humidity up. We're going to try to get more humidity going in here actually after I leave. The one thing we definitely need more are jalapenos. We need our cantaloupes. We need some more tomatoes. We got to do. We got a ton of stuff. So definitely be in tuned. I hope you guys have enjoyed. It's been fun. I got to make some videos in here. So I guess I'll check you guys out later. Peace.